Hello YouTube. I had to start the video over. Yes, so basically, I love subscriber diaries and story times and all that. And one of the people that I'm subscribed to is Renee Beauties. Her name is Irene, and she does have good stories. And I wanted to elaborate on her story of you have to be direct in what you allow. And I hope this is a learning experience for her. You just have to be direct in what you want. You can't let these men enter your life for years at a time, months at a time, and y'all are not together. Like, you just can't allow that, because they will. A man will string you along for as long as you want to be stringed along. And I know that from my own experience when I told y'all about. No, actually, that's from my other channel, so I gotta tell y'all on this channel. But yeah, like, you have to be direct in what you want. Now, of course, what girl doesn't want a guy to come to her and be like, yeah, you want to be my girl? It's a wonderful feeling. But sometimes they're not going to do that. And you need to find a man's intentions on the first date, or at least by the second. And I remember I had a former friend that I told y'all about. She would never do that. She would never say anything. So it's like, if you don't say anything, how you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't say what you want, how is it, you know what I mean? That's true. You shouldn't have to say anything. But some men are slow. Let's just keep it a buck. Some men are slow. So if you don't tell them what you want, now some men will ask you like, oh, do you want a man? Or what is it that you want? Or do you want kids? Or, some of them will ask. But for the most part, you have to be direct in what you want with these men. You can't just be, unless if you as a woman, that's all you want from the deal. You just want the physical. And some of us, you get to a certain point in life, you like whatever. Like, I'm 35. So for me, I've been there, done that with being a girlfriend. And I see that it's a bunch of hype. Like, it's, like, oh, I'm the girlfriend. The reality is, and this is my humble opinion, right? The only reason why some dudes will give you the title girlfriend is because they'll have access to your vagina and they'll have access to you. They know that if they don't give you a title, then they're not going to have access to you like that. They're not going to have access to your vagina. So they'll give you the title because it's like, okay, this is what she want, whatever, right? But how you know if a man is very serious is if he put a ring on it. Now, granted, some men, they don't take their vow seriously. But for the most part, a man is not going to propose to you and want to marry you if he don't love you, for the most part. Now, you have some men that have other things going on and they have other alternatives. But for the most part, that's how you know it's real, that they actually care. So I'm at a point in my life, I'm 35. Either we just gonna be casual, and there's nothing wrong with that. Society will look down at that like, oh, well, I don't want to be somebody's girlfriend at 35. And that's just my personal opinion. That's just my thing. Like, obviously, yes, you have to date or be in a relationship before marriage. You should. But it's a waste of time and low-key embarrassing. Like, I would not want to be in no 5-10-year relationship into my 40s, because I'm almost in my 40s. I'm 35. So if I meet a guy, let's say if I meet a guy tomorrow, right? Today is over. I meet a guy tomorrow. It's May 2024. By 2025, we need to be talking about marriage. We need to be, because I'm getting older, right? So obviously I don't want to be your girlfriend 35, 36. And then my son is getting older too. So my son is going to be 16 this year. And I think about that. Like, my son, he wants to go away to college. By the time my son go away to college, I would hope to be married. I would hope to be married because I wouldn't want to be alone and my son's away at college. I wouldn't want that for myself. But at the same time, if that's, if it's not meant for me to be with somebody, then so be it. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about Irene's story because it really caught my attention. All of her stories pretty much catch my attention. A lot of her stories are redundant. And there was a time when I just stopped watching her because it's like all her stories, she put side chick. Some of her stories, she honestly was not the side chick. She was not, but she'll put that in her title for views, I guess. But this particular story stuck out to me because it's so common. And I'm like, I just got to talk to my subscribers because y'all got to stop this. Like, this is something that women have been doing forever, predominantly black women, and it's like it needs to stop because we get such a bad rep. So yeah, my dad calling me. I'm trying to record this and just get it over and done with. But yes, so with she was dating what she calls a narcissist. And I wanted to explain. Narcissist, the definition of a narcissist is someone who thinks highly of themselves, who looks at the mirror and thinks that they're so gorgeous and they're so much better than other people. A perfect example of a narcissist would be New York from Flavor of Love. Those of y'all who's my age, y'all remember the very dark-skinned woman. And it's not because she's dark-skinned, but I just felt like she was not attractive. And I think what it was is her mother, which is, to me, she has a decent mom. Her mom at least wanted the best for her. Like, she didn't want Flav and her to be together, just like any good mom. She didn't want that for her daughter. And when she had her own show, Mama had very good taste, and she tried to hook her up with the best. And that's what any mom would want a Punk. Punk was a lawyer. He was a gentleman. Taylor Made had his own business, and he treated her nice. So her mom had good intentions, which is really good. You should want your daughter to have the best. If we had more moms that like that, it would be great. But, Irene now, so she claims that this guy was a narcissist. That's her opinion, whatever. So she says in the beginning she was not attracted to him at first, right? And I need to elaborate on that. Sometimes as women, when you're not attracted to a man in the beginning, that is a sign that he ain't nothing. It really do be a sign, ladies, because how many of us that we didn't like. I think I told y'all about the pathological liar. I did not like him when we first met. I didn't. He was fine. He was fine. But when we met, we met in a club, first of all. I don't talk to nobody from the club. I did that literally 2 times my entire life. Labor Day weekend of this year. That was a disaster I told y'all about. And when I was 19. So this particular guy, Ivan, that I told y'all about, the pathological liar, the only reason why I gave him a chance is because his coworker basically told me. So this is what happened. So my old coworker, she had a birthday. She invited me, and then she invited her ex-boyfriend that also used to work with us. And so the ex-boyfriend brought his homeboy. That's what men do. They usually bring their friends or whatever, right? So I get a phone call, and she's like, girl, Uwala, he's asking me for your number. I don't know why, what he want, whatever. I said, okay, yeah, he can have my number. So he calls me, and he's like, yeah, my boy wants you or whatever. Like, he was saying that was his cousin. He was like, oh, whatchamacallit, like, oh, he wants you, he want to holler. So at first I was skeptical because that night in the club or whatever, he gave off alcoholic vibes. Like, I didn't know him from a hole in the wall, but he just gave off of a vibe that he drinks a lot. That's the sensation, not because he was drunk at the moment, but that was just my assumption. And then I said okay to the date. We went on a date, and he knew it was awkward between us, because at first I was like, I went because it's like, okay, it's a free meal, I don't have nothing to do, let's go. So I went. By the end of the date, he impressed me so much with his intellect. It wasn't he was fine, but I didn't like him at first, right? So that was my first red flag, and I feel like, ladies, you need to pay attention to that, because that be your that be a red flag. And sure enough, he played me, and I never did nothing with him, but he really did hurt my feelings and stuff like that. And sometimes you may not get that inkling or that feeling, that gut-wrenching feeling, but I feel like with Irene, she said that she was not attracted to him at first, and some men, they know that, and they'll try to humble you. So what do I mean by that? So basically, they start dating, whatever, and he does things to her. Like, one of the things he did, it took 2 videos for her to talk about it. So he was supposed to take her out for her birthday. And so he made promises that he was going to take her out. They were supposed to go out around 4 or 5 p.m. And, they were supposed to take her out. He was supposed to take her out, I'm sorry. And so he wasn't answering the phone, and she saw him posting whatever. Or was that the second video? No, yeah. So he invites. Okay, so the first video, he invites her over, and there's no gift, whatever. He was just saying he was tired. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna schedule something, whatever." So by the second video, she's amped up. They supposed to be going out somewhere at 4. He wasn't. Yeah, the second video he wasn't answering. So she pops up at his apartment. And I can't stress that enough, ladies. Never pop up at someone's apartment. Don't do it to yourself. It's very embarrassing. Other people are going to see you. He's going to go and tell other people. I've never understood why any woman would do that, especially in that situation where she was not his girlfriend, right? Even if you are the girlfriend. I said this in a previous video, I think. No, I didn't. But if you are the girlfriend, you do not have to pop up at someone's residence, right? If he really do like you like that, you never have to pop up at anything. He's going to let you come. So the fact that she felt the need to pop up at his place, and, he didn't let her in, first of all, so she wasted a trip. He wouldn't let her in. He said he was going through whatever he was going through. And he lives in a type of building where they have a conference room, like a room to just chit and chat. So he takes her to the conference room, and he's like, yo, I'm going through mad stuff, whatever. He wouldn't tell her what it was, but he said, yo, just come back later on today. So later comes, and he tells her, oh, you still can't come over. So then he invites her over, like, I guess the following week. And he tells her, yo, I'm going through mad stuff right now. He let her know in her face, you should have never popped up at my apartment, this, that, and the third. And she was smart enough to just listen, because, yeah, I totally get where she's coming from. And I'm going to also elaborate on that. I get where she's coming from. Yes, he made a promise to you. Yes, he should have taken you out. Luckily, I can't relate to that, because that is messed up. Like, if you're seeing someone, even if you're not their girlfriend, They should have the decency of taking you out. Like any guy I was dating, they always took me out for my birthday. But this is what I wanted to talk about in my video. I have to stress this. Never make a man feel like you're dependent on him for for going out or leisure. The moment you give a man an inkling that you don't have friends or you don't have people who care about you, what I notice about almost every woman that's going through a similar situation, like I had a friend who she went through a similar thing, but she went through it with different dudes. Like they never took her out on dates. She would say that these are her boyfriends, but they never took her out on dates. And when it came close to her birthday, they will always cancel on her. One particular guy was supposed to take her to AC, and he went with his friends and didn't take her. That was messed up, But me being the friend that I am, I was like, forget him and and that's the thing with Irene. Like, she had she was supposed to go on a trip to Jamaica, and they canceled on her. Real friends would say, okay, I can't come with you to Jamaica, but let's turn up in a club, let's go out to eat, let's do something else for your birthday. And then she had a friend that came with her to this guy's house. A friend would have been like, yo, fuck that nigga, I'm gonna take you out to eat. And I've done that. Like, I had a friend who the guy was supposed to take her out. This happened to her like more than once too. But some girls are not lucky, The guy was supposed to take her out for her birthday, and he didn't. So I was like, you know what, Kiki, you have us, your friends, and we took her out. Fuck that nigga. Like, and that's why I wanted to say with Irene's situation is I think he messed her over because he knew that she didn't have no one. And as messed up as that sounds, it's the truth. Even when it comes to like any favor that you need, whether it be household, your kids, anything, when you give people an inkling that you don't have nobody else, for some odd reason, that's when they mess up. Like, even with my ex that I told y'all about, he always held me down for my birthday, but he even said it. He was like, oh, you got stuff planned, you with your friends, you doing this, you doing that. Yeah, I'm not gonna depend. I would never, like, it's different if you're with someone or you're dating or you're in a relationship and it's like, yes, I'm gonna be with this person on my birthday. That's a little different versus someone that's inconsistent, because I'm pretty sure that he did some foul stuff before her birthday, and I can't stress that enough. That's why I'm like, I have to do a YouTube video on this. If a guy tells you the first time, like, hey, I'm tired from work. First of all, a man is never tired. I've done dated men with 2 and 3 jobs, work over. They're never that tired. Men do what they want to do, period, right? So, yeah, that's one thing I could say about my recent ex. He never disappointed me for my birthday. He was good with that. Now, my military ex I told y'all about, he was selfish with that one. Like, he lied and said that it was something with the airline and they switched his ticket because of the weather. That's the lie he told. And that was a cue for me to not be with him from then, because it's like, you don't even care about my birthday. This man would never call me as I would call him first. This is my military ex I'm talking about. And I'm like, we in a relationship. Why is it that you never call me first? Why I gotta call you? And he was saying, oh, other females he dealt with. And I'm like, they wasn't your girlfriend. So that's why I say for some men, girls they mess with or girlfriend is all the same thing. You know, it's all the same thing. So people get hooked up on titles. No, it's how a man views you and treats you. So basically with my military ex, he didn't care about my birthday. He lied and said the airline or whatever. And I called the airline. And the lady was like, no, Courtney Jordan. Oh, I said his name. It was like, oh, he changed the ticket on his own or whatever. And I was like, oh, wow. So we actually celebrated like 2 weeks after. But I said all that to say this. He didn't give a fuck about my birthday. Like, that didn't matter. I don't remember him even calling me to say happy birthday, nothing. I don't think he did. I went out with my friends and I had a good time. That was like, it wasn't a bad birthday, but I remember my former friend, she acted like didn't remember what I said. I was like, yo, I don't do this every day. It was laser tag, it was paintballing and something else. And I told her I want to do everything. Like, I want to do everything. And I told her and my other coworker, I was like, make sure y'all have money. Like, make sure y'all have $32. She was like, oh, I thought you said $32. I'm like, who walks out their house with $32? Like, you knew it was my birthday, whatever. So, long story short, I had to end up paying for her and my coworker. Like, him, I was shocked at because when him and I hung out, he always paid for everything. And then I paid for R. Kelly tickets for us. And then, but this was my birthday. This was 2017. I was turning 28 years old. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I was turning 28 years old. And, yeah, it was like, really though? And then she felt bad, and then she paid for the jazz club. We went to the jazz club that night, and my other friend and her boyfriend came or whatever. And so she had paid, but I don't remember even eating anything much or whatever. I remember everything was nasty but the water. I kept saying the water was good. The water was good. But yeah, so like, back to Irene. So basically, you know, her popping up at his apartment, it was warranted, and I totally get it because he's messed up for that. Why would you tell somebody you're going to do something for their birthday and then not do it? But what I also have to bring to light, ladies, is a lot of these men, they didn't have good parents growing up. Like, I was blessed to have a father who always kept his word. Like, I kid you not. My father always kept his word. Always. Now, he was the type of man that if I didn't say nothing about my birthday, he ain't doing nothing. If I didn't say I want this toy, he wasn't going to get it. So I learned from a very, very early age, I have to speak up for myself. And that's where I get that from, because my father will do anything for you, but, you know, he's not going to just do. You have to ask. And that's how some men are. You know, you have to, hello, da-da-da-da-da-da, you know. But my father never disappointed me. And that's how I have the template of, yeah, you're going to do what you say. Otherwise, I'm just going to block you and ignore you. And a lot of these men, they didn't have a father to do for them for their birthday. Like, I remember my ex, and he told me the truth. He was like, nobody ever did. I flew, even though he missed my birthday, I flew out to Nashville for his birthday because I'm not petty. We were in a relationship. So it was important for me to be there for his birthday and spoil him. I love spoiling my man, just like I spoil my father. Like, whatever he want for his birthday, he get it. Whatever he want for Father's Day, he gonna get it. And that's how I treat my men too, right? So he was like growing up, his mother never really did nothing for his birthday. Like nobody ever really did nothing for his birthday. So that's why he was like that towards me. I'm like, that makes sense, but you can't be like that in a relationship, you know. And 13 months after I left him, he got married. So I wonder, hopefully he's a better husband to her than boyfriend he was to me, you know. So, but yeah, a lot of people are selfish because of their upbringing. So I think with Irene, I think that guy, he probably, like, his parents probably disappointed him growing up, and that's probably just what he does. Like, he probably don't even think it's a big deal, but it is. That's somebody's birthday. Like, birthdays, literally, they come once a year. Like, she's never gonna be that age ever again, and you messed it up. And you know, I'm very big on birthdays because it's your birthday. Like, you know, it's your birthday. You know how many people don't see a certain age? You know, I'm very big on birthdays. Like, I'm going to do something. Like, I don't care if I'm turning 90. I'm going to somebody's restaurant. I'm doing something. Like, you know, whatever. Unless if it's like, God forbid, if it's like a real bad storm and it's ice cold outside. You know, some things you just just whatever, you know. Like, I've canceled plans before and then I've celebrated another day, you know. So, but for the most part, when I make plans for my birthday, it always succeeds. It always goes through. But I just wanted to stress that, like, with Irene, you know, she popped up at this dude's house and was embarrassed, and she not gonna admit that she was embarrassed, but that's embarrassing because he let her know, like, hey, and then after that told her he needed his space. So she took the hint. He was calling her. She ignored him. Good. She should have ignored him from the first time she came over and there was no balloons, whatever, took him out, he tired. And she was like, oh, he cooked something. That's not enough. Like, first of all, like I said, for me, I would never depend on no one person for a birthday thing. Like, I would want to do something with at least one of my friends. Like, okay, I'm not going to Jamaica, but I would and that's another thing, you know, to each their own. But you going to Jamaica or any trip, you should never invite that many people because of stuff like that. You know, you should invite 1 or 2 friends and call it a day. But that's just me. I don't need a bunch of people to have a good time, right? Because stuff like that happens. Less people, less drama, less personalities you got to deal with, less chaos. So he offered, and he was like, oh, you know, he wished he was going, because at the time he didn't have a passport or whatever. But he was messed up because, you know, it was 2 different chances she gave him. But what she don't realize is he messed it up because he knew she didn't have nobody. Had she been like me, and if he would have been like, oh, I'm going to do this, I would have been like, yeah, we could do something, but I'm going to do something with my friends Saturday night so I could squeeze you in Friday. I guarantee you he would have took her out if she would have said that. Or if she would have actually made plans with her parents or her. And I commented too. I was like, ain't nothing wrong with hanging out with your family. You got 2 parents and a brother. There's nothing wrong with going out and doing something with them. It ain't nothing wrong with going out with your girlfriends. And you should have been like, I'm doing something with these people, family and friends, but I could squeeze you in on Thursday, whatever. Make him feel like, and it does work. And I'm not saying you should lie, but never make somebody feel like they the only ones doing for you because they gonna disappoint you. It's very weird, but it's true. You know, it's very true. Just like with dating, right? Really think about it. Would you date someone that nobody wants? Right? Amarion, he got a song, Entourage. And he was like, Who wants a girl that no dude chase? And it's true. It's true. Like, you don't want to be with somebody that nobody else wants. It's human nature to want a little competition. Not saying that you want somebody that's a hoe. That's not what I'm saying. But if somebody comes out and they say, oh, like the mistake that my former friend would make, she would tell guys that she been single all them years. They don't need to know that, because the first thing that's going through a man's head, what is it about you that men